Hello semua sekali lagi. No, kidding. No. That is Siti Kasim's introduction right there. Ladies and gentlemen, selamat sejahtera dan selamat sepupu. I am deeply honored to have with me here today Miss Siti Kasim, lawyer extraordinaire, founder of Siti Kasim Associates, recent winner of a lawsuit. Congratulations, ma'am. Like, wow. Like, I have so many things to say about that, but wow, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I'm just a sole prop in the law firm Siti Kasim and Associates, not founder lah. It's just a firm I created for my own lah, easier.
Mm,
To operate alone rather than with others. Yeah.
amazing. Cool. Well, thank you so much for appearing on my podcast. I think most of you out there who are using YouTube right now and you live in Malaysia, you probably would have seen Miss Siti and her extremely, well, shall we say, passionate critiques of the Malaysian government and like a whole range of other things out there. And it's very interesting to see the lady here herself. Miss Siti, like, how do you feel after having won that lawsuit?
What happened? This event happened back in 2016, yeah, long time ago. Maybe many do not know that the Manya have always been persecuted by the religious authorities. So we are talking about the Majlis Agama Islam lah. Whenever they do their events, or things like that, under the Sharia provision. On that particular night, they were doing some fundraising dinner. And it was a private event, only by invitation. And if you buy tables or you donate, something like that. So they invited me. They asked me whether I'm willing to be on a standby as a lawyer lah, in case anything happened that night. But pro bono lah, I wasn't paid. But I've always done pro bono work, so it's nothing new to me. So I agreed, and so I appeared that night around 10:30 p.m. lah. Then the Majlis Agama Wilayah Persekutuan, JAWI in short, came to raid because they say Ratu Cantik, beauty queen, there is a fatwa. There is a fatwa against Muslims to do any beauty queen contests. Okay, if you have ever attend any corporate dinners or any kind of dinners, they have a theme, right? On that particular night. So for them, that particular night is called Miss World. But of course, the contestants are locals, they pretend to represent the countries around the world. It's a pretending lah. It's not a real contest. But anyway, so
Fun.
they raided and they stopped the whole thing. And as usual, the Manya, they are always in fear being arrested by these religious authorities. So they were mayhem. The girls were trying to run, from the back, and there were a lot of people injured actually, a lot of crashing and all that. They were trying to run away because they are so scared if they get arrested. There's a natural instinct for them, right? So that's why I'm passionate in helping them, because I think it's so unfair and it's not right to persecute them for who they are, So that's what happened lah. So I keep questioning the religious authorities, officers on what right, they can be there because, there are rules. Actually, the law is very similar to the civil law as well, like the police. If they want to raid a place, they must be, it depends on whether it's an arrestable offense or a non-arrestable offense. So at first, they don't know under what offense these people have committed. And then eventually, after much pressure from me, said, do you have a warrant? I'm sure that was viral before, kan? Show us the warrant! You need a warrant to arrest them! You need a warrant to arrest! And as usual, they will bring their own media, videoing everybody. And then they will publish to put shame on this Manya, right? I have always wondered, because is this Islamic or not, by bringing media to put shame on people. I've always disagreed with that, things. And I keep on asking them. And to be honest, they also don't know what they can do or what they cannot do. Because never before anyone questioned them when they are raiding any place, right? So that's what happened. And then they think that they can arrest me. You see, when they arrive, straight away, they close all the exit doors. So effectively, we were already confined, all of us confined in the ballroom. They stopped everybody from going out. And so that's when I keep on pressuring them on what right. Do they have a warrant or something that they can do what they did lah? So that's the incident. And then they arrest me. Okay, that's just one. Arrest me and then brought me into the JAWI van and took me to the police station to lodge a police report. After my friends, the lawyer friends came and pressured them whether I'm under arrest or not, they don't know. They don't know what to say, what to answer. And then they say no. So, after a couple of hours, then all my lawyer friends say, Siti, go. So I left lah. I left the police station around 2 something. That night ended. Then I started my civil litigation against them, JAWI and the Malaysian government. You know, when you sue government agencies, you must sue the Malaysian government as well, because Malaysian government is vicariously liable towards their employees. So I did a discovery order to know all the people, the officers working that night. So I did the discovery order. Then I got the discovery order from the court, civil court. Morning, I got the discovery order. And then afternoon, the police called me and said that I will be charged in court for obstruction against public servant. So that is another one, malicious prosecution lah. Because the reports I read is only about the arrest, but it's not just that. It's also about malicious prosecution. And also that JAWI did not follow the rules, the law. When they receive a complaint, they have to follow certain procedures. They must fill in certain form in which they failed. Okay, so that's my claim lah against them in the civil court, in which I won recently. That's how it began. I was charged in the criminal court for obstruction. And I have to bear the cost myself, and went through 3.5 years, defending myself with the help of my good friend Susanna, who defended me as my criminal lawyer. I will never use any other lawyers except her, because she is a brilliant criminal lawyer. And so, yes, for 3.5 years, I went through that. I was found not guilty without needing to call for defense. So the magistrate let me off. I was acquitted. Then with that, I am firm. They were maliciously prosecuting me because there were no evidence that I was obstructing, and things like that. It took about 9 years to finally get justice for me. All these things that I have to go through. But yeah, I did it for a reason. As a lawyer, I'm very much into strategic litigation. Strategic litigation means that you want to prove a point so that it becomes a precedent, and to be a lesson to the people that you are taking action against. So I believe that so far, I don't think anyone has ever sued the religious authorities on what they have done so far by raiding places and all that. That's why I've always wondered, when they raid, like some establishments, for example, whether they have the right to be there or not, and damaging their properties and stuff like that. But these people do not want to take action. And it happens to me. So I said, okay, I have to do it. These people must be taught a lesson that there are laws to be followed. So it is not about their religious authority. Any authority, I will take action. Okay. If you don't follow the rules and the law, I will take action. Okay. That is really the bottom line of the suit. Yes.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you for that sharing. Well, as they say, there's a first time for everything, and I'm speaking to the person who did it for the first time right here. Siti, like when you describe this case to me, I'm getting like the vibes, right? Like from the people that you actually sued, right? It's like, do you remember that case where a pakcik went and slapped somebody during Ramadan? Like, do you remember that? Like, it gives that same energy, like somebody literally just feeling to themselves, in religious indignation, like, I have the right to go out there and then take in this person, like, song sang sudah, I must reform you.
They have become emboldened, okay? You see, I blame it on the government, not because this government, but all the other governments before.
Mm.
They have condoned the actions of these religious authorities. They actually allowed them to do whatever they like without any sort of repercussions from the government itself. If you notice, the Mufti Perlis, actually Mazhar,
Dr. Maza, yeah.
despite whatever people say about him, he disagree about this Kalwat raid or anything like that. Okay, he believed that, you know, there is a Malay saying, "Jangan keluarkan aib aib seseorang." Yeah, yeah. So you are not supposed to go and find people who actually go against the so-called moral values or go against God rules or whatever, because at the end of the day, these people will answer themselves, you know, to God. So he disagree all these raids being done towards hotels or any. So if you notice, not that I've heard of or read, there is no raiding by the religious authorities in Perlis, if you notice lah. You know, but there are a lot of raids in other states, especially by PAS lah. But also in KL, a lot, you know. Yes, in Kelantan recently, the police even call a health event becomes a gay party. You know, it's so easy to actually malign this community, just because in their mind they are hated or stuff like that. For me, you don't like it, fine. Keep it to yourself lah. But why do you want to persecute them? That's what I don't agree with, you know. Yeah, I really dislike people imposing their moral values on others.
Yeah. And I can imagine that, like, you know, because of the fact that like religious matters are like in the ninth schedule, designated as a state thing, so like that can introduce like some complications, I can imagine. But to kind of move on from that though, so then you did mention that it was a pro bono event, but you did get paid in like a different way. So like there you go, like congratulations, you
I
won
get
battle.
paid for a meal lah during that night. Yes, the award is a bonus. Yeah. Number one, I'm acting as a lawyer on that night. Okay, I am a lawyer. I was acting as a lawyer. I was invited as a lawyer. So when I said I'm a lawyer to them, I am representing the organizer as well as all of the participants. But they seem to disrespect that point. They don't care that I am a lawyer and I have a legitimate right to question them. When a lawyer is doing their duty, number one, they should actually give that lawyer the answer the lawyer asked for. Lawyers are not just people who write documents, drafting documents and appear in court. But lawyer can appear in any kind of circumstances, yeah, like the Manya event and all that. So that's the point also that I was trying to make, that I was acting as a lawyer and that you have done wrong to me. So I'm going to take action against you. Yeah, that's what I have done lah.
And it's great. I mean, like, hopefully that ends up normalizing like a certain idea that goes something like, don't mess with Siti Kasim, don't mess with lawyers, along the way.
Yes, not only that. I think the more important point why I did the suit is because I wanted the government to take more cognizance of how they allow their enforcement agencies to do their job. Yeah. So there are rules actually. Many people do not know that there are rules to be followed. You know, when a police report is lodged, what needs to be done and stuff like that. The same with the religious authorities. When the complaint was lodged, what do they need to do? They have to fill in a form and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So many steps they must take. But unfortunately, they do not. One of the questions asked during the trial, the JAWI officers seem to think they have their own SOP. So to them, they can do whatever they like. Go to hell with the procedures and laws. So that is really the main thing I want to point out, that they actually fail to follow the rules and the laws when they are doing their job.
So a lot of times though, so like these kinds of people, like they might feel like, oh, we represent divine authority, you know, like we are the hands of God upon the face of the earth. And because we are the hands of God, therefore we have the ability to adjudicate everything and need not follow the law. I mean, like you can see like a little bit of that attitude, like even with like say PAS, for example, you know, like their president Hadi Awang, for example, like said in the Facebook post that the constitution is a colonial invention. So then, like, I don't know, like how likely it is that they're going to actually change their attitude in the near term. I mean, I know that, like, of course, damages are going to be paid by like taxpayers eventually, and then eventually that's going to be like circulated over. So do you think that it is likely that they are going to change their behavior? Because you can say that you want to change, right? But like, will you actually change? That's a separate question
Mm.
altogether.
If you're asking me whether this current government will make the change, I don't think so.
Mm,
I don't think they will do anything to curb the behavior of enforcement agencies. You look at Teo Beng Hock death, okay? They think it's nothing to be bothered about, okay? Even NFA, the case. When I think the appeal court, I think have said that this is homicide, meaning that he was killed by some people. With Pastor Ko, they do not want to release the report about Pastor Ko's report, missing Pastor Ko. Why? I mean, the families are the one who should get the report. Why do you want to hide it when they are appealing as well? So, in my opinion, the current politicians that we have here, whether it's PH ka, whether it's PN ka, so that means all of the parties, they are all the same people from donkey years ago. They just recycle into or morph into different party, but it's the same type of people. This I blame to our society itself lah, because they do not want to give chance to new faces, new blood. Like PSM. PSM is a very hardworking party. Okay, they work a lot with grassroots. They never want to give a chance to PSM, even though PSM has been running for elections for many, many years. Yeah, and that's the problem. In fact, when I was running for GE15, some Batu people told me, Siti, we love you, we like what you're doing, but we must vote for PKR. Yeah. Because we want PKR to form a government. Because they don't understand how government is formed. That's why, you see, they thought only if political party only can form a government. But look, just look at PH, because not enough, they have to partner with UMNO. The
Ouch.
same people that the Rakyat rejected, right?
It's very
So
unfortunate.
imagine, last election, 108 independents stood. Not even one won. Okay. And imagine if they have selected some independents, the PH people can then join force with the independents to form a government, because the independents can give the support to PH. But yeah, people don't understand how it works. Okay. They think independent is only independent, but independent can become a coalition of independents. So, well, we still have a long way to go lah.
Absolutely. But Siti, I'm about to show you a fun picture, which I kind of prepared like a couple of months ago. But yeah, like have a look right here. As of today, right now, July the 21st, 2025, you are officially on my YouTube channel, the favorite liberal of them all. First of all, you're the favorite
I
liberal
am
of them
honored.
all. Yeah, so
I am honored. Yes,
I don't know
I am
about Zaid
honored to
Ibrahim
be.
being put there, but like you beat Maria Mokhtar, you know what I mean? So like this is what we have right here. 67% of the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
vote.
Oh, is this like a poll, is it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a YouTube poll. I conducted this a few months ago.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I've been a fan of
All
your like
right.
commentaries and various other things like that. But I want to show you a
Yeah.
second thing, which is directly relevant to what you said before. So Siti Kasim for Prime Minister of Malaysia, 75% yes, 25% no. So like
Wow.
379
Mm,
votes right here. So this is
mm,
what you have.
mm, mm.
So with that in mind,
Wow.
actually,
Uh,
any thoughts? Like,
well, I will not say no if I'm elected to be a PM, because I do have ideas. on what to do with Malaysia. But of course, the political Islamists will not like it lah.
I can imagine,
But
yeah.
it's not about undermining religion. They don't understand the difference between political Islam and Islam itself. So they think that I'm anti-Islam, as you all know lah. Anti-Islam, anti-Malay, I'm a murtad, all these kind of accusations being thrown at me. Just because I dare to go against the ustads,
Oh, for sure,
the
yeah.
mufti, as well as the religious authorities.
Yeah.
So this is the problem.
Yeah.
Is the mindset of the Muslims. Yeah, not all, of course. Many Muslims support me as well. So I'm not saying all Muslims in Malaysia are a bit, unknowledgeable lah. But
Oh, for sure, yeah.
that's. Yeah, I do want something to be done with the kind of Islam and the kind of preachers being allowed to preach in this country. I do believe the mindset of most Muslims or the Malays in this country being brainwashed with a certain kind of Islam. And that is quite unfortunate. Because actually, I believe Islam is actually quite liberal religion. The reason they flourish during the Prophet time is because the Prophet actually do not oppress the people. But these are not being studied by a lot of people, and they don't understand their own religion. They only rely on what the ustad says and the mufti or the so-called religious people. So when you disagree with them, you are in the wrong. Although you are in the right, but they still say you are in the wrong because I don't cover my hair. I don't look like a Muslimah. So, why should they listen to me? Because to them, Islam in Malaysia is about how you look, It is not about the words you say and the things you do. That is the unfortunate things lah. And I wish I can have the power to change that, to teach the beauty of Islam, the real Islam. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I mean, like, I heard before that, like, a lot of people, like, may not even know Arabic, and, like, there's that gap of understanding. And also, even, like, when you speak about, like, for example, being persecuted, Siti, like, I would say that you're in good company, because when Tengku Maimun, like, did her work on the Lo Siu Hong case, and she also did, well, like, the Indira Gandhi and, like, a whole bunch of other cases as well. Like, like, you see, like, people going out and then, like, talking about how, like, she was horrible, but, like, she was a wonderful Chief Justice. And
but the Muslims claim that she is going against Islam and blah blah blah. This is the issue. Poor ex-CJ Tun Tengku Maimun was vilified because the decision is not what they want, to force people to be in Islam. They don't understand that there is no compulsion in Islam, and that were totally lost amongst them, that is the problem. As I said again, I go back to what kind of Islam that has been taught in Malaysia, because I do have a group of people that we studied the Quran, and the Quran is very clear about this, that there is no compulsion or forcing people to be to remain only in Malaysia. Only in Malaysia, it's a one-way street. You go in, you cannot go out. Don't talk about born Muslim lah. Born Muslim, there's no, not that I know of, no case ever being allowed to leave Islam. But even if you're a convert, it becomes harder now. It is not easy for you to leave, even though you converted, because there is a requirement under the law. If you marry a Muslim, you have to be a Muslim, which is crazy, I went to Indonesian bar under the Malaysian bar. We visited the Indonesian bar. I met a lot of lawyers there, and when I told them about the situation in Malaysia, about that is really impossible to live Islam in Malaysia, they were shocked, and they were, and Indonesia, as you all know, they are majority Muslims, yeah. And they say to me that in Indonesia, today they can be Muslim, and tomorrow they can be a Christian. And then the day after they can again become Muslim. So it is not forced upon them to become whatever. So this is why we need to look at our rules and regulations with regards to not allowing people who wants to leave the religion. It is number one, especially marriage, intermarriage. Yeah, the intermarriage itself is a forcing people to become Muslim. If you want to marry a Malay, okay, a Malay is definitely only in Malaysia. I think you have a constitution that describe what is a Malay. If you are not a Muslim, you are no longer a Malay lah. Which is ridiculous because Malay is a race. You can be, Caucasian, but you're a Muslim. You can be, an Indian, but also you're a Muslim. But it looks like from the constitution, people who converted, they can automatically becomes a Malay. So which is ridiculous lah, because race is not equal to religion. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can literally pull that up right over here actually on the screen. In the constitution it says right here, a Malay means a person who professes the religion of Islam, habitually speaks the Malay language, conforms to Malay custom, and etc. 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 So yeah, exactly what you had said. So
yes, so it is in our constitution. Yeah, so it's I think that needs to be amended, because how can a race be defined like that? I don't know what makes them think it's right to actually define such things. But a race is a race. I mean, if you go back long enough, the Malays, I believe, according to history lah, they probably were Hindus, to start with, before Islam came. So that don't erase the history. But that's the thing. I'm very I think there's a lot of things which are wrong in Malaysia and needs to be rectified, and we can only do that if we have courageous politicians, meaning the parliament. Yeah, because in Malaysia only top bottom we can change, not bottom top. Okay, I don't think it will ever happen bottom top. Because I think Malaysians generally, all races, we are quite mild people. We are not the type to go against and fight and like other countries. We are very very friendly, very mild lah. The attitude of all races. We are very tolerant towards each other and all that. So it has to come from the top. The politicians need to be brave to actually make things right. And that's what I've been telling all this while, that if you really want change in Malaysia, you must choose your MP that who you feel will fit in what you want for the future of Malaysia. But of course, the Islamophysics, I call them, will think that, trying to undermine the Malays and the Islam, which is not true, because, the provision of the freedom of religion is provided under Article 11, yeah, which, the Muslims will be allowed to practice their faith as they want. And, in Malaysia, they will persecute Muslims who differ from the defined authority, meaning the government Islam, which is the Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Okay, so if you go out from that, meaning that like the Shia, the Ahmadiyya, they will be persecuted. Don't talk about other races. They talk even within intra-religion, Islam itself. They will persecute people who have a different from Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And that's wrong, I mean, this is the thing about Malaysia. Why do they want to control, the sort of the belief of somebody? You can only prosecute someone if they have done something wrong based on criminal actions, if they harm somebody or things like that. But if they are just doing their own thing, praying in their own mosque, doing their own thing, what's wrong with that? Leave them alone lah. Whether their prayers are going to be answered by God or accepted by God, that is really God's job, not you as human beings. That's what I always have a problem with the way Islam is being administrated in Malaysia. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, I want to challenge you a little bit right there. So, interesting that you mentioned the point, right, about intra-religious persecution, because like from what I can see, like on the internet, right, like even somebody who is considered liberal, like would be very easily persecuted. And like you can see like basically even our PMX, right, like you go online and then like you see people basically saying a mixture of the following: A, ketimbang; B, liberal; C, any combination of like those words right here. Now, where the challenge
Secular,
is, yeah,
plural.
secular, yeah, liberal,
Yeah.
yeah, that sort of thing. And actually, where the challenge comes in, right, is what you said earlier about what we call like top to bottom, right? Now, we know, of course, like, the world has a diversity of viewpoints. Like, people think of things in a different way, right there. So, what would you say, for example, to the politician, right, who says that, Amar Ma'ruf Nahi Munkar, when I speak up is to protect the weak Muslims, the people who cannot follow through with their religion. I need to make sure that they stay, and therefore everything that I do, I did it all for you. Like, how dare you go out there and you try to challenge my authority when I'm trying to make sure that people stay on the Sirat al-Mustaqim?
If they know their Quran, the Quran says that you bear your own burden. You don't bear anybody else's burden, even your own parents or your husband or whatever. So that's the point here. As I said again, I will repeat that what kind of Islam that they understand, because clearly in the Quran says that if let's say the other party is liberal or a Shia which is a good example so they have the right to persecute the Shia or the Ahmadiyya, in which they have done, so there is the Quran clearly says that you bear your own burden, meaning you only answer your sins and your or everything you have done on your own. You do not actually answer for anybody else.
I see.
So then why is the need to control others? It is more political rather than really about religious reason. It is political. Yeah. So they use religion in Malaysia to control the people, so that these people really believe, that they must make sure that they listen to these leaders or the religious people, because they know more, better than me, because I don't understand the Quran because it's in Arabic and all that. Yeah, that's the beauty of living in the 20th century. Yeah, the advent of internet, and all that. Actually, you can find out yourself with regards to knowledge of your own faith, or anything else. You can actually just Google. But of course, when you read something, you don't just believe it automatically, lah.
Absolutely.
For me, how I learn my own faith is that, okay, I want to take the best interpretation of the surah, and then I will then discuss with my like-minded people, friends, and we will talk about it and discuss about it, because there are many others who are very knowledgeable with regards to the religion, but they don't call themselves as ustad or guru or anything. They will say they are just sharing knowledge, and I like this,
Absolutely.
because actually in the Quran also warn, be careful of this type of people. The Quran already warned, especially ustad or priesthood. They say, the Quran said, be careful of these priesthood, these people, because especially if they ask for money, because they will lie to you, things like that. So an overhaul of education needs to be done to the public, and it goes back to the government. Okay. So when we thought Madani will rectify this, yeah, and that was the hope lah. That was the hope by many people like me, who voted for them. Instead of making right what was wrong, they set in more policies, more religious subjects into our schools. So that was the thing, and so no more PH for me, especially with the leadership right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these people they create things that maybe like they can't even control. I mean, like I remember very distinctly, Anwar Ibrahim at a Chinese New Year dinner. He got called out, I think, by Firdaus Wong, I think, for like the Titik Singa thing. And then like after that, then he was just like, when did it become wrong to like attend events kind of thing? I was like looking at him, I was like thinking to myself, padan muka.
Yeah, you allow this kind of preachers to flourish in Malaysia, so they become bold and think whatever they know is the right one. No, others will be wrong. It is. That's the problem. Actually, there is a domino effect lah. You allow people like Zakir Naik to be in this country, that like to put down other religion in the name of comparison.
Sure.
You don't compare lah with other faith kan. To me, right? You don't try to compare. Why you want to compare? They have their own belief. We have our own belief. Why don't we just stick to our own belief and teach our people the good things? How to be a good Muslim. You are not supposed to be corrupted. You're not supposed to hurt people. You're not supposed to destroy people's property. You
Right.
must respect animals. You don't kill animals just because you were taught to hate dogs, stuff like that. So this kind of thing we should be telling our preachers to tell good things to Muslims, about how to be a good person. Never mind being a Muslim, just be a good person, because a good person is a good Muslim. But that was, the problem of our country is our politicians. We have not got the right leaderships in our country. That is the problem. I think the Malays are not stupid. If we tell the Malays, this is what the real Quran says, and so therefore this is the book that we must rely on. So the Quran say this. Teach the right things to the Malays, they will accept. They will understand. Okay, if the Quran says that, it must be right. So. But no, they don't want the Malays to know the truth, about Islam, the real truth about Islam, because then they cannot manipulate them. They cannot control them. And this is why I said we either have to take religion out of politics from politicians. They shouldn't be involved in running any religion. Religion should be left to the sultans, as in our per constitution, and the sultans should manage the Islam, not being run by politicians. Right now, maybe people don't know the Sharia provisions in each country. Elected. Okay, they propose. Let's say now they propose a section. Right now the RUU 355 to increase punishment. From 3 years imprisonment maximum to 30 years imprisonment, and then from 5,000 ringgit fine to 100,000 ringgit fine, and from 6 lashes. It will increase to 100 lashes. So who passed this provision under the Sharia? It is the politicians, including the non-Muslims. So what the hell is this? I really despair, to be honest. There's so many things. This kind of thing should be decided by knowledgeable Islamic scholars, and not by non-Muslim, just voted just for the sake of to support the government. Okay, it has to be done by scholars of Islam. Politicians shouldn't get involved in deciding things for Islam. This is my issue about it, lah. Yeah.
Okay. So now I have a little bit of a niggling point there because like earlier you said, right, okay, no more PH for me, no more PH for me. So then like the logical choice, I mean like given what you just said earlier about like getting scholars, right, would be kepimpinan ulama. Miss Siti Kasim, will you vote for pass?
No, I will not vote for them either. You see, that's the thing. I have told my friends, even if they put a cow as a candidate, I would rather vote the cow, than either any of the current politicians.
I see.
So this is what I have told my friend, my friends, my close friends,
Aduh.
because none of them are going to do any better for our country. Running a country is running a business,
Yeah.
you need to have the right CEO to make the business become richer, progressive, and all that, to become successful. So if you have a person who knows only so-called, this ulama, they may not even know about the religion, but they pretend just because they wear a serban. But the thing is, we have to choose the right people with the right common sense, the right way of thinking to become our leaders, to take us to the next level. I mean, why are the people closing their eyes to our neighbor, Singapore? I mean, why are they so successful instead of Malaysia? When they are only a tiny dot, and yet people don't think why do they become so rich, so successful, that they can earn so much more than Malaysia. And generally people, whether you are Muslims or not Muslims, I think people want to live comfortably in this world. And that's the aim of every human being. That is what they want. And religion, keep it to yourself. As long you do no harm to others, you shouldn't involve politics with religion. Just like what Singapore did. They totally they nip the bud,
Oh
in the
yeah.
bud whenever they see some extremists trying to do something. I mean, we are living in 2025. There are many examples of all over the world, the countries that are very successful. Why is that? I mean, we should think, why are these countries much better than us? When we have all the resources, natural resources, we have oil, gas, we have rubber, we used to have tin mines, but where? Why are we still poor? Why are we still earning so little? These are the things that should be questioned by a higher thinking society. Unfortunately, Malaysia haven't reached that stage yet. And that is because of our education. There must be a way to improve the thinking skills of our children in schools. These are the things that should be taken by politicians because they are the one who set the rules, the policies, and everything. Unfortunately, nothing's been done. For nearly 60 years now, we have been independent, and I really don't take this rubbish about being colonized lah. We are still, things like that. Don't blame the past lah. Don't blame the past. We should be looking to the future. I mean, you should actually invite Syed Akbar Ali. He wrote a book about the Club of Doom. Have you heard about it?
I saw Syed Akbar Ali's name on James Chin's podcast. Like he did like a book review, and he was talking about like why it is that like what we call Islamic countries fail. So I don't know if like that's the specific book that you're referring to, but
Yes.
it could be
So
that.
yeah, he would be a good, very resourceful person and knowledgeable, to talk about the countries, the Islamic countries and all that. I just want to tell your viewers, check out the Islamicity index. Okay, if you have never heard about it. The Islamicity index was started by these five Muslims. So they compare countries all over the world. Which country actually follow what is required in the Quran based on the Islamic teaching? Okay, so when you run a country, which country actually follow Quranic teaching? Okay, so if you look for the last how many years since they started, the top 20 have always been the so-called cafe countries,
Wow.
not the Muslim countries. Yeah. So,
Wow. That's crazy.
they go to their website. They explain
Y-
how they actually
Yeah.
rank these countries.
I'm actually
Very
having a look at it right
interesting.
now. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
You can see right here.
Yeah. There you go. Is that what year is that?
2024. There's no
Okay.
I'm
So they
not
just came out lah.
seeing Malaysia.
Yeah.
Singapore. Wow,
What year?
Singapore is above.
Malaysia is Malaysia
Wait,
number what?
number 41. Singapore is 25. Oh damn,
Yeah.
Malaysia. Damn, you lost to Singapore.
Yeah.
Damn, how could you? Wow.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
yeah, see, very interesting.
Wow.
And people should know about this. That you see the Islamic principles. What have been emphasized thus far by a lot of the Muslims is all about the way you look, the way you dress.
Mm,
It is not about how you treat others, how you
mm,
treat people, how you treat and the environment, how you treat
mm.
the animals. There are Islamic principles in treating these sections well. So if you treat this well, then you are Islamic. Then it
Mm,
is not about whether you're a Muslim or not. It's about the practice, about the living, how you live your life.
mm,
But people don't understand that. They emphasize more on rituals rather
mm.
than the practice of living as a human being. That is the problem. But you can see some Arab countries have already changed. They have moved forward to become more human rights sensitive. Yeah.
That is interesting. And
Mm,
interesting that you mentioned Singapore as well, because like today, interestingly enough, is Racial Harmony Day in Singapore. And that came about actually like because of the racial riots, in fact, in Singapore on 21st July during Maulidur Rasul, I think. Somebody was hit with a glass
mm,
bottle, and then apparently what happened was that Syed Jafar Albar like did some incitement kind of thing. But I mean, like the whole long process has gone on, and here I want to touch on something that Lee Kuan Yew actually said in his second memoir, From Third World to First. He said, if I were to identify one single factor, one single word for why it is that Singapore became successful, it is confidence. He literally said that, and I might send you the page a little bit later on. My question is, when we look at Singapore nowadays, we see like rank one airport, one of the highest GDPs per capita in the world. But here, actually, like this
mm,
is where I challenge you a little bit more. Like you said that politicians, right, is the politicians that are responsible for everything out there. But then, Miss
mm,
Siti, like how much of it do you think like comes from individuals? Because like as individuals, right, like every single person who's watching this podcast right now, right, so like they probably came here for a reason, like whether you believe in destiny or like just in
mm.
algorithms or whatever, right? So like they are here, like they are making a definite attempt to improve themselves in some way. So how do you feel about the role of individuals, if not like politicians?
You see, God has given us this natural feeling, like whether things are right or wrong.
Mm,
Okay. Um, So what Lee Kuan Yew said is true. In terms of confidence with regards to their leaders, they are very confident in what they are doing with their policies and what they have, the vision they have. So they just pursue that, and they absolutely. I think I heard one of his talk about religion, why religion should not get involved
mm,
in running a country, stuff like that, because inevitably it will destroy the country. Because you see, religion is a very personal thing. People have a very personal interpretation,
mm,
and so the leadership of the country must be firm in running a country. That fine, you have a different interpretation, so you can practice your faith on your own without disturbing others, but
mm,
you don't try to impose it on others.
mm,
On the terms of being individual rights, yeah. So I think it's a God's gift to human beings. We are given what we call in Malay akal. Unless you are being brainwashed, okay? People who have been brainwashed from small until they grow, and that's what they believe. And that's why we have fanatics in Islam as well in Christianity. There are some sects of the Christian where they became very fanatic, right? But you see, like, what is it? Mormon. One of the group that live very differently, different kind of Christian, right? So
That's a
you
musical
see,
about them.
it's fine. You see, like America, they claim themselves to be Christian country, right? But they have Mormons, and then they have these many other groups that live more traditionally, right? So they leave them alone. They leave them alone. They do not force them to become the mainstream Christian. Okay, so that's how it should be. People should be left alone to practice their faith as long they do not harm others and they don't force others. So that is really the principle of it. So as a human being, as an individual, we are born naturally with common sense, and we know cheating, lying, stealing, all that are wrong. And that is, in religion also says that's wrong. These are things that affect others. Okay, meaning that you harm others by doing this thing, by killing, by stealing, you do harm others. Okay, but for example, consensual sex by parties, whether it's LGBT, whether it's man and woman, because they are not married, in Malaysia, they will be punished. But there are no harm to others. These are consensual sex by these people. But yet they are being punished because these people think that God wants them to become the punisher in this world. But there's nothing like that in the Quran. This is the thing. This is why the so-called kafir countries, meaning they are not Islamic countries, they are more successful in running their country better than many so-called Islamic countries because of the control, because of the persecution. That is why I think there's a problem in the way. There's nothing wrong with the religion. For me, it is what they are teaching to others, what type of Islam. So that's my opinion lah.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much. To kind of close off on this, so clearly you spend like a lot of time like thinking about like this lawsuit, like 2016, it happens, 3 years, like you kind of like contemplate it, and then finally then you decide to sort of like take legal action. Do you remember what triggered you finally to like take that move to finally go and sue the government? And I guess like what do you hope will be the repercussions really like for society going forward as a result of like that choice that you chose to make?
Well, on the night itself, when it happened to me, I've already decided I will sue them. As I said, I've always believed in strategic litigation lah. Meaning that I need to take action against these authorities. It doesn't matter whether they are religious or not. It happens to be that night, it is the religious authorities. So they have done a lot of wrongs to me in my eyes as a lawyer. And so I took action against them. But of course, I have to wait for the process to be over so that I will not be like technically wrong when I file the suit. Okay, so I have to be patient. The night itself, I've decided I will sue them because I know that this is wrong. So then the reason I did it to teach the public that, not just to teach, to inform the public that there are rules to be followed by enforcement agencies. It doesn't matter whether it's religious or not. As long as the government agencies, they have rules to be followed. And if they don't follow the rules, their raid becomes obsolete and that becomes illegal. Again, that is one of the reasons I want the government to look into their book again. How do they train their staff? How do they teach their staff in doing their job as enforcement officers? Yeah, because if they don't take cognizance of this case and retrain their staff and do that, then it will happen again. And then comes to somebody like me, actions can be taken again against the government. Yeah. So this is why I did it, to improve the administration of our enforcement agencies as
Mm,
well as the government liability. They must take liability. They have to take accountability.
mm,
Because when you run a country, you run a massive network and you have to be responsible for all this. If they done wrong to the rakyat, you must be responsible. Again, as I've said in my YouTube video, a lot of people are concerned about this money coming from the taxpayers, right? Yeah, of course, it comes from the taxpayers. So why is that? Because the government failed. So when the government failed, then you actually must take it up with the government. Why have you failed us? Why have you not trained your enforcement agencies to do the right way, to
mm,
do the right thing? Not just ambush, suka hati lah. Just because you don't like this community, because they are against your faith, your belief lah. You think the community is haram or something. You cannot be a man dressing as a woman. So but if they really think deeply, right, and they really know this community, they're not like suddenly one day wake up, oh, I want to dress up as a woman. No, it's not like that. It's a feeling they feel from small.
mm,
I've done my research, talking to a lot of them. It's not something it just pop up just like that. It's not like they can just choose to become whoever they want. It is not true. And so, again I said, if this is against your belief, leave them alone lah. Why you want to disturb them if they have done no harm? To compound that, I am not just so-called attacking the religious authority. It is not true, because it's not about Islam at all. It's about the way they've done the job. I am also suing the police. Yeah, my case starting Thursday.
mm.
The
Good luck with that.
trial, the first. Yeah. So the first day of my trial against the police is on Thursday. So this is again because I believe the police did not follow the procedure and did not do their proper investigation, and therefore things have been done towards me and the girl Anis. So that's why I'm doing this, not only to tell the government there is
Mm,
something wrong with your enforcement agencies.
mm,
Get that right. If you keep on doing this and you allow them to do whatever they like, there will be consequences. People will take legal action against them. I am sure many illegal arrests being done. But unfortunately, people do not know their rights in Malaysia.
mm.
That is another thing.
It's very
I
unfortunate.
think Malaysians should be taught about their rights. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Can I ask something I've always been curious about? In your mind, to how you see yourself and the way that you relate to your religion, right? What does it mean for you to be a good Muslim? Or what does it mean for people to be good Muslims?
You see, a good Muslim to me is someone who actually have a good heart, live a good life, meaning that if you are able, you help others, okay, and you do what is good. You try. Not everybody can do that. But of course, being human being, we have nasty, bad thoughts sometimes. It can't be helped, right? No one is perfect. But
Mhm,
you try your best to live your life as a good human being. Really, that is really being a good Muslim lah. Meaning that you do your best to lead a good life in a sense that you don't steal, you don't cheat, you don't lie. You don't try to use your position to make your position better or your family life better. That is not right, because that is abuse of power. So it's very simple actually. It's not that hard to be a good Muslim. It is not all about rituals. It is not all about the appearance of a person. I think I've read some questions before lah, when the Muslims would say the non-Muslim will go to hell, right?
mhm.
But pass go one step further lah. You have the pass number membership, then you go to heaven. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? But that is the most ridiculous lah. But you see, they think they can say that because people believe in it. That's the why people believe in it, because they've been brainwashed that this is the religious party. This is the way it should be a Muslim. This the look that you must have to be a Muslim. I don't care lah how you want to live your life. You don't disturb my life lah. That's it. As long I do no harm to others, don't impose it on me lah. That's my personal belief. Life is not hard. God do not want to make your life hard to live, actually. But unfortunately, to be a Muslim in Malaysia is very hard. It's not easy. Yeah. So, even if you believe in pluralism and liberalism, you are considered as somebody who go against Islam. It's crazy. There's a fatwa against sisters in Islam, right? About that. So, where do these people come with the idea? Do they understand the meaning of liberalism and pluralism? But nothing being said by our politicians to correct them, because they are religious people. You can't say anything against them. Only this face lah that actually question them. But you see, what we need is our leadership. Our leadership must actually tell them, why do you think liberalism is wrong? Why do you think pluralism is wrong? In our constitution, Rukun Negara says liberal word, So what do you say about that? But no, not even one politician wants to say anything. That's why I'm fed up. The elephant in the room is the use of religion in Malaysia. And with religion in Malaysia, it connects to race. Okay? So they use it. They use it to the maximum. They want to show they are the best defender of Islam in Malaysia. Islam do not need any defense, okay? Allah do not need any defense from human beings. But you see, people seem to think that way. So that's why I believe if really we want change, we must have courageous leaders. Okay, doesn't matter what race or what faith. If we have courageous leaders, they will take us to the next level. Religion, I think, will flourish. Islam will be looked better by other people if actually, not being practiced as it is now. As it is now, I don't think Islam is looked upon very good from the eyes of non-Muslims. Betul tak?
Agreed. Yeah, I mean,
so
tak boleh pukul rata lah, but it's just all these small examples,
no, I
right?
mean, tell
and
you're not
actually
alone. Many, yeah. In fact, people say, the one who comment on Siti Kasim's social media, all type C or type I. These people, they say. But you know what? They don't know, actually. Many of them are converts. Okay? Due to marriage or by their own willingness or whatever. Doesn't matter. But you know what? They write to me privately. That they are thankful they are still Muslims like me who try to show a nice, better version of Islam. That Islam is not what is being portrayed by many others, especially the so-called orang agamawan, or they call themselves ustads or whatever. I don't claim myself to be a preacher or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's an insult to my faith. When they do all these things, it gives a negative view about Islam. When Islam is not supposed to be like that. So yeah, but the problem in this country, we even have laws, that if we say anything about Islam, disagreeing with the religious figures and authorities, you can be prosecuted. That's the thing. Do you know that? So that's the problem.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to think about there. And thank you so much for all of your time. Would you have any messages that you want to share with the world for I guess your immediate thoughts about what we need to do moving forward?
Moving forward to Malaysians, doesn't matter whether you are Malay, Chinese, Indian, Sikhs, or orang asli, orang asal. Doesn't matter. If you really want to see improvement, meaning progress in our country, when the next election, you have to choose people who are courageous, who dare to touch on the so-called sensitive. Okay, that's the thing. So I mean, do not look only at political parties, like, or personalities. It's about who they are, what have they been talking about, have they been consistent. You must check whether this person is reliable or not. These are the things that we have to be a higher thinking society if we really want to put in the right people in parliament. Not think only, oh, right now I hear question, if not Anwar, who? You know what I mean? They can't even think other people, because they only compare Anwar to PAS, Hadi Awang, and I am Mohidin, Muhyiddin or Mahyadin, whatever his name, and Sabri. Of course, these people are tainted. And Hadi Awang is because of his religious thingy lah. But they don't think about the Sabah Sarawak leadership, but there are 32 million Malaysians, okay? Why do you think only these few people can lead the country? There are many like you yourself, you can talk publicly, you have common sense. Why not? Even if an unknown person, but that unknown person is actually very vocal and very consistent in the way or in the manner they talk about things. Why not? There is no limit who can become a prime minister. It doesn't say only a Muslim can be a prime minister. To me, it must be based on meritocracy. If the person is an intelligent person who has the right mind to bring Malaysia to higher place, why not? I don't care. I don't care whether the prime minister is Indian or Chinese or orang asli or orang asal. I don't care, as long the principles he or she brought into running the country is good. Respecting others, upholding the rights of people and things like that. Upholding the constitution. So I hope someday it will happen. Maybe not in my lifetime, but I hope the young generation will keep on fighting, and keep on working on these ideals. It can be, but we have to choose the right people into parliament. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Siti Kasim. It was an honor, and once again, congratulations. People will definitely have a
Yeah,
lot
but
to
it's not
think
ending
about.
yet. I don't know whether they will appeal. You see, they may appeal.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah, they might appeal.
Yeah. So, I think what didn't come out was that the court awarded me 5% interest from the date of the end of my criminal case. So the longer they stretch this by appealing, it's already 2020, up to now it's 5 years, yeah, because they maliciously prosecuted me. So there is a 5% interest imposed by the court. So if they delay and they appeal, what kind of message they are sending to the public? Okay, so, because the judge is very detailed. And we have requested for a broad judgment, because this will become a precedent for the role of lawyers, which is so important, and the role of these enforcement agencies. Watch out for my police case coming up.
All right, amazing,
Yeah,
cool.
again, it's the role of lawyers, and doing his or her job, and the role of the police and the hospital as well. The hospital, it's quite important case lah. So we will see lah, because I think they have 14 days if they want to appeal. Or is it? I can't remember what's the rule. Something like that lah. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
All
Well,
right.
Miss Siti Kasim, you're doing God's work. So good luck with that.
Yes.
And justice delayed is justice denied, they say. But like, what does it mean if you don't get the way that you want? Well, anyway, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you got to do what you got to do. Okay. If you believe your path is right, You must persevere. You do not give up. And I believe the path I'm taking, not just from the legal action, also from my thinking of the future of Malaysia, is right. My principles very simple. Leave people alone. Do not persecute them. If any kind of wrongs done according to the faith, let God judge. It's not human being to judge. For me, that's how it should be. We must have people who run companies, to run all these government agencies, not just enforcement, but also the education department, all the departments lah under the government. Yeah, we should put in intelligent and progressive people, instead of thinking only, oh, I'm a Christian first, or I'm a Muslim first, or I'm a Hindu first. No, you put your faith aside. You must focus on what is best for the nation as a whole. Yeah. And meritocracy, I think that is so important. It's time that the Malays realize that they can survive on their own. They are not, stupid. They can compete equally with others, and I do believe they can, because there are many, many very clever Malays.
Absolutely.
When so they can compete with other races, if given the idea that they must compete, not because, oh, it's okay, you can do about this, you can still get in. You already give them the laziness part, into it. By, okay, I don't have to do so well because I'm a Malay, so I can get into university, or I can get into this easier because I'm a Malay. So that idea itself is already defeating the mindset of a Malay. And I do believe, because I have many very clever Malay friends, that and they survive based on their meritocracy, on their merit. Yeah. So I think that is important for us to progress, so that no more brain drain. No more brain drain from Malaysia. Yeah, sorry, I can go on and on lah.
Well, yeah, no, it's good because you're very passionate about it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, dear. All right.
Well, thank you so much.